We don't have a lot of time, and we have the Beatles of Disney Plus with me, so I just want to introduce everybody. Please welcome your actors, Daniel, Dior, Charlie, Aryan, Leah, and Walker. It's my son. Thank you for coming out on a freezing New York night to meet with your favorite demigods. My first question, well, welcome back to Camp Half-Blood, everybody. As you reassemble to film season 2, 2 years and apparently all of puberty after making season 1, Walker, how did it compare to the first season?
I mean, I guess it was kind of the same thing in a lot of ways, except everyone is a lot older, and we have Daniel now, who is great, and I think you guys just saw episode 3, right? Yeah, wasn't that fire scene awesome? Yeah.
I mean, and I want to ask sort of like, because when you started season 2, season 1 was already out in the world. How did what was your performance being out in the world? How did that do you feel like that affected you guys coming back, like knowing how invested fans were in you guys and your characters and your journeys? Anyone can take this question. It's not specific to anyone.
If I may go. But I feel like it was kind of the, you know how when you're like acting and you're preparing for your next role or anything, you make like little notes and you write down stuff. I feel like the first season was my notes. And I sometimes, you know, I think anyone who's an actor or actress is already hard on themselves, but me, I'm like extra hard on myself. So I pay attention to the little itty bitty things that I do. And I feel like just watching, this is a really good microphone, by the way. Like, I'm like, this is really
Billy
clear.
Center does it right.
Yeah. This is great. But just watching season 1 over and over again. But then at the same time, I couldn't watch it over and over again because Annabeth is more emotional in the second season. And I can't just go from watching someone who's very guarded and very quiet to someone that is hurt and is lost now because she has no one. So it's like a hit or miss, but I think that was my main part of having my performance out there, you know?
Dior, you get to be an action star for real this season.
It's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah.
Are you more comfortable working with the special effects, shooting these epic scenes? I mean, we've seen a chariot race. There's like some more stuff coming. What were your favorite parts of that?
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever been uncomfortable. I think we've all just been really excited about it all the time. I think one of the cooler things that we got to do this season, I got to be on wires for the first time in my life, which was really, really rad during the Ironclad sequences. And Ironclad is just also insane in and of itself. Chariots was insane. Like, Eli created a process trailer of some kind. Like, I guess that had never been done before. Just, there's so many firsts that happen on this show.
Explain that process trailer. What does that mean?
Okay, so basically what it is like when we were doing the chariot races, we can't be in a chariot bucket with real horses racing chariot. That's just illegal and crazy. So what they did was they had us shoot some stuff like with the horses pulling us, but they had us on process trailers from when we were shooting like our takes with our coverage, which is like one of the buckets would move forward and backwards and the other would move side to side and would be being pulled with like a giant truck. And the cameras would be facing us. So it would look like we're being pulled by real horses, but we're not. Movie magic, ha ha ha. And Eli kind of dreamed it up in his head because no one had ever shot like that before. So we needed to create, you know, our own way of doing things. That's pretty sick to me.
Speaking of sick effects, it's a joy to have Daniel with both his eyes here this
Thank you.
This evening. Give it up for Daniel, our newest addition. You kind of have to jump in with both feet. Like it's a departure from the books in that basically from the beginning of the first episode, you are living with Percy and in that home. And so talk to me a bit about sort of creating that dynamic from jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Sally, that was pretty last second. But luckily we had like a month of prep ahead of time to kind of like work things out. I mean, the chemistry read was, I think, back in like May, and we started shooting in July. So we had plenty of time to kind of get to know each other and figure things out, and the relationship, the dynamics. I mean, with all these guys, and so the closer I kind of got with everybody, the closer I got with everyone else. So by the time we got into shooting, it was actually relatively easy. So yeah.
And most actors, hopefully get to work with both their eyes while they're working. You have the one. Explain a bit about that process and how much how much you're visualizing what the final product is going to be versus just trying to be present in the scene with your fellow actors. And I also want to hear from you guys what it's like working with. Are you like looking at between his eyes? Like I'm curious about like that process.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was honestly like pretty simple. I think the special effects team that we have is one of the best in the world. They've worked on a lot of the biggest productions you've ever seen. And so basically what they said is like, hey, we're going to let you do your thing. There's no prosthetics, nothing going to get in the way. You got to act with your two eyes, which is lovely. And we're going to do the magic on our end of kind of like combining that together so that as much of the emotional kind of processing you're able to see on screen so that you don't lose me and the performance in the process and it ends up just being a creation of theirs, but the kind of this beautiful kind of like collaboration. Yeah, I guess, how did that feel like working with you guys? Yeah.
I will say sorry, you want to?
I was going to say it was difficult because and this is not really about the eye, but like all my scenes, I'm at the first 2 episodes, I'm kind of being pretty mean to him, but it was horrible. I felt like a bad person every day because he was so nice.
I could never be mean to Tyson. I mean, like Annabeth loved Tyson the entire time, right? Yeah.
I want to say, there's this moment at the end of the series, and I think the best part about Daniel's performance is less so about the thinking about what the eye was going to be, but more so about the physicality of Tyson, which I think is, pretty integral to his character. And there was this moment at the end of the series, and our acting coach, Andrew, came up to us, and without giving too much away, Tyson has to do something that he knows he has to do, but he really doesn't want to. And I'm not sure if you knew you were doing this, but it's like one of the greatest pieces of just like subconscious acting I've ever seen. And Andrew came up to us and pointed it out. He's like, Daniel's doing this like incredible thing, and he's like, he establishes this way of walking and this way of like holding himself throughout the season. And when this happens, you almost like kind of shrunk, like weirdly enough, you like broke like physically, and you could see it, and you carried it with you for the rest of the season. It's like, I don't know, whenever I think about it, like it was incredible, and like I think you see that in his performance throughout the season.
Just so you guys know, I invited them all to just compliment me for the next 15 minutes. There's no actual Q&A.
He paid me a lot of good money to say that.
Daniel, you're older than the rest of your castmates. Is that what's that like? Being around all these kids.
It's great. It's great. I looked at the questions earlier, and it was supposed to ask me, did you feel like an older brother or like a father?
Right.
And I was like, I'm 29, not 40.
I rejected the binary of that question.
I
You can feel
appreciate
however
that.
you want to feel.
Yeah, no, the moderation was beautiful. Thank you. No, it's been amazing. It has felt like family, like really. And they've been so supportive of me as well coming into the family, because I think it's a strange thing when you have everybody having all these relationships that have built so strong from the first season. But they've been the absolute best and made it really, really easy.
Aryan, you're kind of alone in a cave this season.
Thank you for reminding me.
Apart from the what was that? How difficult was that?
It was, and as much as I hate to admit it, it was really difficult being away from everyone, because it's a similar predicament to what Annabeth and Percy go through in episode 1. It's like you go through all this crazy stuff together, and you develop this bond that like literally nothing can break, and then you just have to leave, and then you come back next summer and things are different. And that's what it felt like, I think, for all of us, but specifically for me. And I was a fan of the book. I knew I wasn't going to be in it as much, and Dan and John sat me down. They were really kind. They were like, we want you on set even if you're not filming, like we just want you to stay around. And they let me camera trainee, which was awesome.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah, you've kind of created a film school out of your gig at Percy Jackson. What was that like as a camera trainee?
I just want everyone to know I was the first one to do it. Everyone else started shadowing after I did it. But yeah, it was awesome. Our second assistant camera, Lucas, he's the guy who slates every take and puts our marks down. We're good friends with him, and I asked him if I could, just be his little intern for a week, and he was so great about it. And I interned on the Ironclad, which was the coolest thing ever, and it was kind of a.
Is that an ambition for you beyond acting, to get behind the camera in the future?
I think so. I think I don't know. It was interesting for me because I love acting, so I loved knowing what it was like behind the camera. But if anything, it just made me realize how much I love doing what I do. But yeah, I think I'd like to be behind camera. It was a weird culture shock because I would, put down slates and then Walker would like kick them away to mess with me.
Okay, I knew you were gonna say something about that.
And I was
waiting
this
for
is
that.
the point that I really wanted to get to. And and I would try and like give it back to him and just mess with him, and I couldn't because I wasn't cast anymore. And so
Which made me feel awful.
No,
I did it like
no,
twice.
He says that he kept doing it.
It was an accident the last like 4 or 5 times.
I have a question for you, Leah. Well, actually, they've written me this very long question, and then I'm going to ask a follow-up. Chiron would not let Annabeth tell Percy about the great prophecy, which drove a wedge between them earlier in the season, but is now out in the open. Walker and Leah, how did you play this new dynamic between them?
All right, 2 things. I think I heard Annabeth, right? Okay. I wanted to make sure that
Annabeth, sorry, that's my bad.
No, it's okay. I actually like that. Now,
In the Annabeth of your new relationship
yes.
with Percy.
Okay, and then also, what was the question again?
I knew it was too long a question.
Yeah.
No, I guess my question is the dynamic in season 2. I mean, it's different than season 1. I think Percy is very much like learning about the world of gods and demigods, and you grew up in it, and now you've got this sort of wedge between you at the top of the season. You both left stuff out of your letters, because you got this prophecy secret that is now out in the open. How'd you guys play that dynamic?
Very method acting. It was the truth. No, but basically that means that there was no acting. It was true. But I feel like. Actually, do you want to take that? I feel like, am I talking too much? Like, do you want to go first? Okay. I feel like I've just been taking the mic the entire time. But in a quick way of saying this, I feel like, it's a huge break between season 1 and 2. Obviously, you guys have been waiting like 2 years, basically. So we had enough. Yeah, sorry about that as well. Wasn't our fault, but sorry. But it's a huge break, so it kind of actually plays the part of how Annabeth and Percy were feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like, bye guys, I'll see you in 3 months or something. It was the exact same process that Annabeth and Percy had, and just like how we both had, like I had to go back to in-person school and you did too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was kind of like, because we did the season 1 press tour, and then for the that was in like December, and then until I guess like July, none of us had like seen each other, and we kind of, not that we stopped talking to each other, but like we were so busy doing other things, and so we all kind of just showed right back up, and then that's just where the story happened to pick up too, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Good. Charlie, my boy, my baby boy. This is our first time meeting tonight.
I know.
Guys.
This is insane.
I mean, I know I play an absentee dad, but I don't like being an absentee dad.
We've been going real method on this.
Oh my
been
God!
taking our jobs
on the
very
socials,
serious.
we're just blasting each other on socials. I want to ask how you see Luke, because Luke is very much set up as the villain. Top of season 2, he is stabbing a former person, now tree, flying off on a Pegasus. Like, how do you play him? Because I know no one plays villainy. Like, how do you play? What do you see as Luke's reasons, and how do you play him this season?
Yeah, I know these guys are tired of hearing my answer. I've been kind of doing the Luke propaganda thing this whole press.
He's gonna
tour.
like try and recruit
gonna
somebody.
I'm gonna
right
try and
now.
recruit all you guys right now. No, but yeah, I think I don't see Luke as a villain. I think he's like the product of someone who's kind of just been wronged over and over again his whole life. And this is something that actually me and Daniel were talking about a little bit the other day, like what sort of constitutes just like a villain or like an evil person. And we kind of agreed on, someone who like just uses people or for their own personal gain, and though Luke definitely has his personal reasons in all of this, I think.
Yeah, we got issues.
We do got issues. Definitely. Yeah, why don't you just come talk to me? And you went to go to Percy.
I am very busy.
Yeah, clearly. But yeah, no, I think I don't really think that applies to Luke too much. I think I actually think he's doing mostly what he's doing for others, you know, for his mom and for Thalia, who, like you said, was turned into a tree when Zeus, almighty Zeus, could have just like saved her life, you know. And for like all the demigods all the unclaimed demigods that he's just seen kind of filter in and out of the Hermes cabin throughout the years, and he's fighting for equality, you know. I think you heard him say it in the episode, like he's fighting for like every spirit and every creature and every demigod, and he's trying to create this better world for all of them.
I think we're going to leave with a few converts tonight, Charlie.
Hopefully.
Hashtag Luke was right.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. He's a very layered character, and it was a lot of fun to.
Well, you play him beautifully.
Thank you so much.
It's a joy to watch your villainy grow and your numbers grow on your cause.
Thank you.
I want to. You have described the fight scenes this season as, quote, brutal. How so?
Yeah, I think there's just like a lot more stakes this season for like all of our characters. You know, I think there's like a lot more to kind of fight for, but also a lot more to lose in a lot of ways. And I think that really comes through in those action sequences. And also just personally, I feel like, I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I feel like I've just gotten a lot more comfortable with a sword in my hand, and so. I know, you know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but me and Walker definitely have some stuff coming up in the later half of the season, and we kind of just went for it. Like, the Sun team, they're like, all right, go 50%, but just give full performance. But me and Walker just go like 100% right off the bat.
Which hurts, too, because I'm always the one that's like, you know, I'm getting punched or thrown. So for him, it's really fun. You know, he gets to throw me, but like I hit the ground.
It was pretty even. It was pretty even this season. I definitely got some. You got some hits in for sure, but
I mean,
no.
Did you see my face at the end of the trailer?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Yeah, there were a couple that actually made some contact there, but I'm sorry. Yeah. No, everyone's all good though. We're all good.
It happens. Yeah.
Let's talk about stunts all across the board. You guys are all, you know, on the water. What is the addition of, like, what are the challenges of filming on the sea? How much of it is practical versus how much of it is, you know, in water tanks or done with the volume?
All the Cryptus scenes with Scylla that's coming up in episode 4, all of that was practical. It was really, really cool. They had real life monsters come through and big monster trainer, and it was really fun. Yeah.
I think my favorite part of like everything, you know, being on the water is it's in episode 2 when we get in that like little Zodiac boat and I drive them off. The reason that was really fun is because I had both of them that didn't want me to drive it. So I, you know, scared them a little
Well,
bit.
we've seen you drive a taxi cab in season 1, so.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, but I know what you mean. I remember I was working on another show, and there was a scene where I got to drive a little boat just like that, and you kind of like, I could go anywhere. I could just go away. And you have a little freedom of like you're letting me drive, but you also have your friends captive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any other sort of fun challenges stunt-wise this season that we can look forward to? It's an action-packed show. Dior, anything that you're looking forward to?
Again, just everything on the ironclad. It was absolutely insane. There's this World War II like Bofors gun that they got, and they put it on the ship. We had it in the stage with us, and they said, "Okay, you can use it now." I was like, "You want me to be behind that thing?" But we did it. It was wild. It was insane. All the water, the wires, everything was wild. Also, too, everything that everyone else did was just insane. I remember I did follow in Aryan's footsteps. I followed after my brother, and I shadowed as well. And being able to watch everybody do their thing. I mean, Daniel had these amazing scenes underwater in a giant tank, which were phenomenal. Everything has just been amazing this season. I genuinely can't wait for everybody to see it. It's going to be, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
On the subject of water, later this season, we'll see a nice face-off between Annabeth and and the Sirens. That you're gonna have a face-off with the Sirens later. Was that the sequence you've been waiting the whole season to shoot? What was it like?
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, I am so excited for that episode to come out, but I'm also nervous because I mean, like, if you watch the interviews and everyone asks about the sirens, like, literally I say nothing because of, like, if you're thinking of grabbing popcorn or food during that time, please don't, because you're gonna miss the entire thing, I promise you. But genuinely, filming that siren scene, and honestly, that kind of has to connect with the last question that you just had. It's not really a stunt, but it's just more of the intense actions that I was doing in it. It's not like I needed a stunt double to. Actually, we did. Yeah, you can kind of see it when, and just, if I can do like a quick summary though, but just filming that scene, I didn't like cry after it or anything, but I was so exhausted in a good way. Like, I was like, oh, my work here is done. And honestly, filming that siren scene, especially with the people who was there on that day and just who was there to help me. And also one little thing, if you're thinking of filming and they're trying to water you down, please ask for cold water. I promise you, actually, I'm not gonna be dramatic because Daniel says I'm very dramatic with this stuff, so I'm gonna be very literal. Cause sometimes I'm like, I almost died, guys, but that does not come close. But genuinely, it just, when it's freezing cold like that, you cannot put hot water on you because you're gonna freeze to death. And oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not explaining this right.
She was lucky because she was wearing the full outfit, and I was doing that scene soaking wet while wearing a skirt.
Yeah, but you were there like half the
So
time.
it was a little bit.
Which you look beautiful in,
I
by
think
the way.
half the time is like, it's like, 2 times worse. So maybe it's like equal.
Okay, this is taking away my beautiful moment of my siren scene. Hello. I just want to let you guys know that when you watch it, okay, and you're like, wow, this is really good. I probably wasn't even acting, okay? I was actually like devastated. And also the makeup team, actually, I have to give credit for them because they did amazing on the sirens. That was all practical, no CGI, nothing. It was the most beautiful but also scariest thing I've ever seen. So wherever the cameras are, thank you guys very much for that. Yeah.
Daniel, I feel like you're on fire a lot. How often are you actually on fire, and how often is it CGI fire? And
That was actually all real fire. Like, unlike the Scyllochribdis stupid joke that I made. Yeah, it was amazing. Like, so the first time that we did it was on the first episode with the cannonballs, and so they just did like a nice little kind of arm fire, and put me in a bunch of layers and whatnot, and kind of slimed me up with this kind of like thing that basically prevents you from like actually burning. And so I just got used to it.
how long does that burn for? Like
That was really short. So we had to be kind of get ready, get the cameras ready, get action, poof, set on fire, and he runs out of frame. But then with the one from episode 3, that was much longer because we had a way bigger burn. They basically put like the kind of gas or oil all down my back. I had my entire face covered with this slime because it kind of crawls up your back and kind of consumes like your entire body. And then in like 4 different layers underneath. And what you don't see, which is also kind of fun, is they have like these massive prosthetic hands I put my like actual hands into that are filled with this goo. And it's like super thick, so that when I kind of take off everything while it's like genuinely burning, again, I don't get any 2nd or 3rd degree burns. But
what's the sensation like, though, even though
you don't feel anything? It's just cold from the goo. It feels kind of gross.
you don't feel the heat from the...
Not at all. No, as soon as you start to feel the heat, you're in trouble. So then it's like, hey, you just take it off as fast as you can. But the hands were so hard to like wield anything because like the thumbs were like literally like that wide. So I'm trying to like get this like apron off before I get to the point of it like burning me to death. And it's like I can't even grab a hold of the thing. So I'm trying to like just quickly get it off, and it looked ridiculous. So we had to practice it a bunch of times, and then finally we got to a point where they allowed me to do it without being scared that I would die. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a Fortnite question here in my cards. Walker. Oh, all right. So Fortnite fans. Okay, great. Walker, Leah, Aryan, Charlie, and Dior. In addition to being on the series, you are also in Fortnite as Percy, Annabeth, Grover, Luke, and Clarisse are a part of Fortnite Island. I'm going to pretend I know what that is. What was that like, seeing yourselves in Fortnite, and do you play as your own characters or others? Let's start with you, Walker.
We haven't yet because we've been traveling, but that's the first thing I'm going to do when I get home.
100%.
Before anything else, I'm going to do that. I've been home in a couple months. That's my number one.
Walker and I have been talking about and Charlie, we've been talking about getting Fortnite skins since like the day we started production.
That's like I feel like you can't really. I mean, the only thing above getting a Fortnite skin is getting another Fortnite skin. So,
this is like our I made it moment. I think that we're in Fortnite now. Like I think young us would be like just in disbelief.
young
that this
you.
is
Oh yeah.
If they could see you now,
Speak for yourself. Me right now.
No, okay, right now too. But no, that was like such a big part of my childhood was just going home every day and like playing Fortnite with my friends. Not even childhood, just a few years ago. Okay.
Childhood last week.
And I'm gonna do it when I get back home. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are some gamers.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. You guys interact with a lot of gods, and there are many gods you come across in your travels. Who is your favorite? No wrong answers.
I feel like there really is one right answer today,
Aries.
right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think you know what? I think I've had. Okay. I was gonna say you. I mean,
You don't have to say me. You know what? You
I
can't
will,
say
I
me.
will.
Let's say you can't say me.
Okay.
other than you, because you're number one, obviously.
Thank you, Walker.
Yeah.
Adam's pretty awesome. Adam Copeland is.
Yeah.
AKA the Edge, AKA Ares, the god of
He's
war.
pretty sick. Yeah.
Also, Jason though. Jason Mantzoukas.
Mantzoukas.
He's just hilarious.
So funny.
Very funny on the show. Anybody else?
I mean, we gotta. It's hard because you can't name everybody,
everyone.
but like
Yeah.
everyone
I
is
see
their
all
own.
gods are all of the people who play the gods are all amazing,
Yeah.
but like in like their own
Just
way.
all the
you know
guest
what I'm saying?
stars, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second
Yeah,
that.
that's what I said.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a separate text of the
All the people who
gods.
play the
Like the actors who play the gods, we also have our own text thread, Fortnite gaming
Yo, they're not gods.
sessions.
I'm so sorry.
What happened?
She said all the gods, right?
All the
Not
people,
all
he
the.
said all the gods, not the get. Okay, I'm sorry. I
What's
said,
confusing? What's happening?
You
Let's
said
just
you
move
said
on.
pick all the gods, right? Like who's like the favorites and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And I
the
said-
gods you've had fun acting with.
Exactly, and I said like they're all great, and then I said all the people who play them are great. And he was like, yeah, and the guest stars too. But you didn't mention them. You mentioned I obviously mean the guest stars too, but like you mentioned the gods. I was very specific.
What were you saying about Fortnite?
Moving on. I want to know how nervous you guys were to meet Rick for the first time. Rick Riordan, the creator of this incredible world that we all get to play. And give it up for Rick. And do you guys talk to him sort of at the outset of, or during the season or while you guys are working on the show?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. And I think, I mean, at least for me, I can't talk for anybody else, but like the first time I met him, I didn't even know I was going to meet him. It was when I got the part and they all called me and him and Becky, you know, popped onto the Zoom and then told me, and it was insane. So I feel like it kind of, I don't know, we kind of skipped like the awkward, nice to meet you handshake thing, you know? We were kind of just automatic. On that Zoom, I started asking him a bunch of questions about it. So we kind of just, you know, got right into it.
I guess I'm curious about that because, you know, I know he's really involved on this and he's really proud of all the work you guys have done and on this series in general. So I'm just curious have you guys talked to him about sort of what's coming up for your characters, what's happening versus not happening, what's different from the books? I'm curious.
We just keep pitching him like really stupid ideas.
Please pitch me one of the stupid ideas you have pitched to Rick Riordan.
Okay, for Grover, I was thinking, like, you know, in the Battle of Manhattan, like how this is spoilers for anyone
This
who
is
hasn't.
like 4 books away.
Yeah,
3 books away, yeah.
yeah. This is okay. This is spoilers for people who haven't read the books, but like, come on, you got to get on that. Grover kind of has this cool thing where he has like vine armor. And I was thinking it'd be awesome if it like came up from the ground and then like encompassed him. And then that turns into the vine armor.
That
you know?
sounds awesome. What's stupid about that?
I think I had a dumber question in season 1. I really wanted a shirtless scene at the end of the show because I thought, okay,
That's what-
At the beginning, we got there and it was August, and I was like 13, and I was like, okay, if we're ending in January, that's enough time to get like totally like shredded.
You'll be training, you'll be the stunt. Yeah, I get
It
it.
didn't happen.
The vine armor is like the only good one I said. The rest were like just different variations of shirtless scenes.
He's been like a lifesaver with all like just the pronunciations of all the characters. There's been so many debates about so many of the characters on the show.
Well, we were
like,
talking about this backstage.
Yeah.
When I read the books and I read Thalia, I'm Latino, so I read Thalia. because we have a very famous singer named Thalia, and she's amazing. Any other pronunciation issues that you came up against?
No, Thalia was a big one. What else? I mean,
Your last
there's my
last name.
Name.
I don't. How do you guys say it?
Yeah.
Castellan.
Is it Castellan or Castellan for you guys?
Because according to Rick, it's Castellan.
What's weird is
Castellan.
sometimes with like random.
We're gonna start a war tonight.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Maybe
I know.
Camp Lucas Castellan and Boat Lucas Castellan.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. No, I've been saying Castellan too. Don't tell Rick, but I think it's Castellan, guys. I think it's Castellan. It has a nice. It sounds more like it has a nice ring to it. You know, I'm not mad at Castellan.
I was gonna say, sorry. Sometimes you'll ask Rick, like, hey, like, you know, how do you pronounce this guy's name that you wrote? Like, how does this work? And he'll just be like, I don't know. Like, you know, it's. I don't know, I've never really thought about that.
Wrote it down. That's really funny. I want to turn the conversation for a second. You know, we lost the great Lance Reddick, who played Zeus in season 1. Yes. What are your favorite memories of working with him, those of you who got to work with him? And as Courtney B. Vance takes over the role in season 2, which is an amazing get, what is he bringing to the character?
I think I was really the only one that worked with him on season 1. But, I mean, it was amazing. He's so kind, and then the second that they said action, he was like terrifying. I don't know. It's just he's such an amazing actor, and he was. I don't know. I actually remember filming like my first shot with him. It was when he was sitting in his throne, and I'm walking onto the stage, and he like stands up and walks towards me, and I tripped for a second because I was like, I don't know. He just changed so fast. But yeah, he was hilarious. We talked about In and Out a lot. He's great.
And how was Courtney? How was that transition?
I think I met him at the premiere. Actually, really quickly, can I go back really quickly to Mr. Lance? I have like
Yes,
a
of
quick
course, please.
thing. I had met him when he was filming with you because I was getting my hair done. You know, it takes a long time to get braids. But I knocked on his door, and as you can tell, I'm very, very short. So I was on like the last stairs of the thing. He came out and he was like, "Hello." And I was like, "Yo, hey, Lance, I'm down here." And then he looked at me, he's like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" Obviously, he has an accent, but I can't act that out because that'd be crazy of me. But he saw me, and it was like, yeah, like you said, it was like the greatest experience. He was super sweet. He showed me his 2 dogs that he had and like how they're at home and everything. He can't wait to see them. I'm just really happy that he got to see them when he went back. And yeah, like we will always miss him, and he will always be, you know, the Zeus that he is and everything. And Courtney, he is a great Zeus as well. I didn't get to meet him on the set. I met him at the premiere though, and he has a great presence. He also has that Zeus presence as well. I think that the castings are really great. And yeah, no, when you guys see Courtney as well, like it'll be great. It'll look like never changed.
Season 3 is in process. You guys have gotten a brief break from filming season 3 to come talk to us and do some press for season 2. What can you tell us about what's on tap without, you know, sort of Bob Iger whisking us off stage?
It's been really nice to be on set most days.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
It's
something.
an adaptation of the Titan's Curse, so if you're fans of the book, season 3 is book 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. I was gonna say this is like, I don't know, this is a little thing, but I feel like this season just kind of, I mean, you'll see at the end of this season, it's all mixed up in my head because we're filming 3 and this 2 is coming
You
out.
went
But
right from 2 to 3. They realized
Yeah.
you're growing just too fast, and they're like, we just got to green light the next one.
yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
But you know, the end of this season, season 2, kind of sets us up perfectly for season 3. And there's been a lot of scenes that we filmed so far that have just been really difficult in the best way. And it's I mean, I don't know. This is, in a way, this is like the Percy Jackson that, you know, I really remember from the Titan's Curse. And, you know, I feel like Dior says this all the time, but she splits them up into 2 sections, which is The Lightning Thief and Sea of Monsters, and then Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. And I feel like it does just kind of shift after Sea of Monsters, and it just feels like a more mature show. And yeah, what were you gonna say?
That's pretty much exactly what I was going to say. This season feels like, if season 2 is, kind of an upgrade from season 1, season 3 feels brutal in a good way. And for all of us, I think, like, just being on set as our characters, there's very little that we have to do to kind of feel what's at stake. I think, I don't know, there's just so many scenes where as Aryan and as Grover, I'm like, oh my God, this is real. Like, it feels like if even the slightest thing goes wrong, like, we could all, like, the story ends here. And I think that's exactly what the series needs, like, going forward. And I'm so excited that we're doing this adaptation because it's, like, my favorite book.
Yeah, Thalia and Zoe are perfect. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Thalia and I, get into a lot of arguments. I guess that's like a tease, but that's kind of in the book.
I will give away, because they're terrified of giving away spoilers. I'm not. The gods do get to talk to each other. Like, I get to play with the other gods in season 3, which is, I haven't filmed it yet. I will film later this season, but that's very exciting. Yeah, something I've been looking forward to, because this cast of gods is so stacked. So we finally get to kind of play with each other and bounce off each other. Beyond season 3, how long are you hoping this goes? 1 season for each book? Do you think we include Heroes of Olympus and our Roman aspects? What are your hopes? What are your hopes and dreams?
I don't know about Heroes of Olympus. I think we're all going to be like 40 by the time that starts.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome if they split season 5 into like 2 parts, like 2 seasons. And so we get more episodes and more time to cover everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heroes of Olympus is like, that needs to happen. I'm probably going to be like 70 years old when that happens, but still. And Logan Lerman will still look young enough to play Percy.
Shout out to Logan Lerman, OG, Percy Jackson. I have some audience questions from some of you all, so I'm going to ask you those if that's okay. This one's from Tommy Walsh. Tommy? Maybe you're at home and watching on a stream. What would you say was the hardest aspect of adapting your character from book to screen, and why? And why don't we start with you, Dior?
That's a good question. I don't think there was any parts that were. It sounds messed up of me to say, but I don't think anything was particularly hard. I think we all arrived at season 2 just really ready to get back to work. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. I think the most emotionally demanding was figuring out the relationship between Clarisse and Aries and how to play that and play her sharpness with everybody while still, being vulnerable and allowing that to peek through and shine through so that you can understand where she ends up at the end of season 2.
Anyone else want to weigh in on that question? On Tommy's question?
What was the question?
What would you say was the hardest aspect of adapting your character from book to screen, and why?
May I go? Okay. Can I have permission? Thank you. Okay. I don't want to bring this out there, but I kind of have to say because this has a lot to do with it. But everyone knows the main thing of why it was so hard for me to go from book to Annabeth, because I don't look like her. And there's a lot of different things about me and Annabeth, if you don't know. For the people who don't know and haven't read the books, they say that she was, known as a Caucasian girl with blonde hair and gray eyes, and I am nowhere near that. So, and she's still beautiful, whoever makes that person. But I think that was my hardest thing, was just honestly the physical appearance at first. I feel like, obviously, if Rick and the casting people and John and Dan were going for the looks, I wouldn't be here. And I'm just really grateful that I was picked for the acting that I did, and that they didn't really care about how I looked, just about how I played her. And that was, and I was kind of like Annabeth, even in the first season, not saying, I wasn't as mean as her, but she was generally mean sometimes. I'm like, wow, you're just catching strays out here, aren't I? Like the whole night, guys. But I just genuinely like, first of all, the physical appearance part, and just hearing the the feedback. But honestly, once I played her and then it came out and you guys were so happy about it, I felt like Charlie said earlier, like you feel more comfortable when you had came back for the second season. And I think that as these episodes keep coming on and on, you will see how comfortable oh my gosh, Aryan.
Why would you do this?
If you don't
I'm
know,
having
it's
such
his
a good
rolling
night.
in the deep picture.
Thank you for
Yeah.
Thank you. This is okay. We've been to so many places on this press tour. Tonight is the night I've had to talk about this video like the most. It's come up like 3 different times now.
Let's explain to people who cannot see this person who just pulled out their phone.
No.
It was a
Play the
picture
clip.
of him singing, rolling in the deep. When
It's
he's
a
really
picture
young.
of Aryan, a very young Aryan, singing "Rolling in the Deep."
You know what the worst part of that is? I'm like 13 in that picture.
So on your whole life.
I'm okay. I've made that mistake before.
I have a quick addition to that last question, just really fast. I would say the most difficult part, maybe for the both of us, was that we were both in 10th grade while filming it, and we're supposed to play like 13-year-olds, and I think
Second season, right?
yeah, for the second season.
Okay.
And I think what was difficult was trying to not, because in season 1 we were basically the same age as the characters. So I think season 2 it was like, in a way we were playing different characters because we had to play a little bit younger. And I think it was difficult to try to play the book age, but also not make it seem too unrealistic, comparatively to like ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. And just like also, you got to think these books were written like 20 years ago, which is not a long time at all. I'm just saying that they were written like, I have to correct myself, guys, okay? I'm not saying 20 is old, okay?
They were written before he even sang "Rolling in the Deep."
That is true.
Exactly.
That's like a landmark event in history.
Yeah.
Hit right there at the spot. And I feel like just, you got to think, these were written 20 years ago, and the generation has changed so much now. Different words mean different things. And, playing also, I know this has a little bit nothing to do with a little bit.
I'm excited to see where you take us.
Yes, me too, because I really don't know. But I'm just going where it goes. But a little bit about the Perspective part too. It's like, you got to think when these things were written, it was more like this is cute. It's a little cute friendship. But now it's like any little thing that happens is like very big, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think those are also the harder parts because we still want to make sure that you guys get that slow burn as well. But also a lot of the times, the people who are watching it now are still the ages of when it first came out, but there's also a lot more that were added in the new generation now. So I think that's the hard part of it too,
I think you're putting it exactly right. You're right. There's a generation that's grown up with these books and are grown, and then there's generations who are like experiencing it for the first time, and you're having to straddle those expectations, which are sometimes different. Yeah. Zoe Pepper asks, and I'd love to start with you on this one, Daniel. What do you remember as your most memorable moment from your audition?
The initial audition was just like, I was one of those ones that are now grown, I guess. And so kind of in the change too was like the difficulty of finding a character that was not really my age. I'm 29 and in the book Tyson's basically 8 years old. And it's a slight jump. So it was like, how do I find this innocence and this youth, but also like really honor the character? I didn't want him to be a caricature. I didn't want him to be somebody that everybody's making fun of or is just there to be somebody that's funny for the audience. I obviously, I think there's elements of that. But how do I kind of get into that space and find the emotional truth? And so for the audition, kind of the first take that I did, I think it was the take that I ended up using. I had my buddy come over and it was the scene with like the Sphinx, and I just started like crying at the end of that. And I was like, I think I found it. And so that was really cool because I was like, hey, if they can go with anybody at this point, I know they're going to choose whoever's right for the show. But I know I have something here that I'd be really, really excited to put together with these guys. And that usually takes a while in the audition process, at least for me, where I'll find something that's very close to what I want to find, but I know that there's still more that would just take more time with everybody. And luckily, again, I was a fan of the books, so I knew what I kind of wanted to do, and it kind of just came into place. So I was really grateful.
Nice. Anyone else have any good audition stories from booking this gig?
It's wild. Mine is kind of insane. I'm going to keep it really, really short to like the moment that was a little bit actually insane.
I've never heard of yours before. I'm sorry. I'm really excited.
Really?
Though. I've never heard of it. I'm
I
actually
feel like
really
I've been
excited.
telling it so much.
I've never heard this.
Like I feel like I keep.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's so okay. To keep it short and sweet, I'm half Persian. I was living in Iran at the time that I was doing the auditions. So I was doing the auditions at like 2 a.m. in the morning to start off with, which was just crazy. I was delirious in these auditions. But the one thing in like my last round of auditioning, I was doing like fake spear work. I like took apart my mic stand and like put tinfoil at the end of the to make it electric or whatever. And like my laptop is on this setup of like suitcases and books because I didn't have like a tripod. And I'm doing this spear work and I whacked my computer mid audition and Dan stops the audition and goes, "Is your laptop okay?" And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I was like, okay, I'm not booking this. That was great. The show's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to watch it. And then I got the email the next day that I was invited to the table read. So I think
Like
that
she
was...
really went the extra mile and destroyed her computer for this role.
Yeah. Maybe they just
amazing.
wanted to see someone really commit, and like that's what they needed.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I remember my first table read with the Charlie and Dior because we like that was. I mean, we just saw like the day before that they were cast, but we weren't told. They were just like up on the wall, and so we're like, oh wow. And I remember joining the Zoom for the table read, and my the scream when her spear breaks.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had my AirPods in, and it was like it shattered my eardrum because she did the actual scream that she did on the day that terrified me. On
Sorry,
the Zoom.
buddy.
It's weird. It never stopped terrifying me. Even I heard it like so many times, and on the day it was just as scary. That's a compliment, by the way.
Thank you. Really?
I don't know if you know this, but after the table read, you came into it and you're like, I'm just gonna try some stuff out, and you went 100% on everything. And after the table read, Andrew like pulled the three of us aside and it's like, that's what we're looking for.
Wow.
Like from everyone on the show, and he's like, that's the standard you should hold yourself to. It was really good.
Thank you.
That's very sweet. One more question from the audience. Thank you, audience. Hunter asks, is there a scene from the books you were most looking forward to filming, or a favorite change made from the books for the show?
That's a good question.
Charlie? Just haven't talked to him.
That is a good question. I mean, so much. I think we were. Even though I wasn't a part of it, we were all looking forward to the chariot races because that was just insane, and like everything was practical this season. So they really built that set, and like I was there every day, even though I wasn't a part of it, just to watch because I just wanted to experience that. And so that was amazing. But I think for me personally, Luke and Percy definitely have some really cool fight scenes in the book. So I was looking forward to that. But also, I can't say much. I don't want to spoil, but like, because it's the show and we can just step outside of just Percy's point of view and we can expand on all the characters, there are definitely some really good moments this season between, Luke and Annabeth, and I'm really and the flashbacks also. I'm really excited. I was really excited for the flashbacks because I think we've heard about Luke and Annabeth and Thalia and their time on the road, but to actually see it in like what the reality of that was, it's like I've said this before, but I feel like the best way to describe it is like you hear about a car crash and it's terrible, but then to actually like see one with your own eyes is like something completely different, and so that's kind of what the flashbacks are like, and it was interesting having to play like a younger 14-year-old version of myself again, and
Like
I went back
rolling the deep age.
rolling in the deep. No, I have
Just
my
gonna
own.
haunt me forever, huh?
I actually went back and watched videos of myself when I was like 14, and I showed him, which was a big mistake because he has not.
Back when you liked Fortnite.
Yeah.
Back in
When
my
you were a
Fortnite
kid.
days, my
Yes.
prime Fortnite days. Yeah.
Any other things you were looking forward to, or changes you really welcomed from the book to your adaptation?
For anyone?
I think this season, like Charlie said, we have a couple fights, and that I don't know. It's a little change, but I guess it's a pretty big change. But we have 2 fights, and I mean, any opportunity that we get to, do one of these fights is like, I don't know about you, but like these are like my favorite days because we get to just go all out, and I don't know. I feel like we're getting to a point where like we catch each other like super well now, and so when we're doing the fights, it's like I don't know. It's his sword, Backbiter, is a lot bigger than Riptide, and so when he's swinging it, it's like a weird delay. I don't know how to explain it, but the hilt comes around, and then the tip of the sword comes like swinging around really fast. And if I'm not out of the way, then it's like season might be over. So I have to watch out for that. Thankfully, it hasn't happened yet, and I hope it doesn't. But I think
No promises.
oh god. But it's weird because we got so like comfortable to the point where like that terrified me at first, and then I just got so used to that like timing, and we kind of just like I don't know. At one point, we got the note like that it was too smooth. It wasn't like aggressive enough because we were just so in the zone, I guess.
Yeah. I also love like just the fight stuff because it really takes you out of your head. Like it's so physical and you're so in your body, and like I feel like those are the scenes where I actually feel like the most in it and like the most just like in the Luke headspace.
Yeah. I know we've talked about it before for like it's a big point for Clarisse this season about her vulnerability, but like Walker was saying, like I break the books up into books 1 and 2 and then 3 through 5, and it was really hard for me like as a fan to have empathy for Clarisse until book 4, because that's when you start to see like her real humanness, like what I'm saying. And I think what was really cool, like a cool change that it's not really a big change, but they did a really amazing job at threading the needle and bringing that vulnerability from 4 into 2, so that like you guys can like have an empathy link, if you will, with Clarisse sooner, so that you can really rock with her for the season. And also too, it sets her up really well for what they're doing for her in 3, which I'm really excited for.
Fantastic. Well, shout out to Dan Schatz and our showrunners and everybody at Percy Jackson. I know there's a lot I'm looking forward to as not just a participant, but a fan of the series. And just sort of on a more personal note, I wish you all lots of normalness when you're not here. It's hard to, you guys are kind of, oh, she's got a lot of pictures. Can you hold on for a second? Thank you. This is a circus. We're in a circus right now, and we're all watching you grow up in real time with these shows. And I wish for a lot of sanity around you when you're not in the public eye, and that you get a lot of sanity. It's a great set. It's such a young person friendly set, and I feel like you guys get to really be yourselves and get to grow up in real time while also doing amazing work. And just very, as an absentee god, I'm very proud of you all, and we're really looking forward to the rest of the season. Give it up for the cast of Percy Jackson.